I want to try this idea of like, one of the things I think of everybody is that everybody's questioning themselves, and it feels like because something died for everyone, everyone's world is like out of balance, out of whack, kind of spiraling or whatever. So trying to find movement like that. I got an exercise I want to try to like find the movement, and then we're gonna work on like making all of that movement off balance, like putting it together and then it all being off balance, and then like stabilizing, but only when you feel threatened. Like you're allowing yourself to go through this, but as soon as you feel threat, you like stabilize to protect. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll try some other stuff. Let's start there. So with the mentality of like you're not trusting of me. Let's just say I'm the target. I'm gonna put myself in different places around you and move past you or be right next to you, and to like use movement to react to like the distance between us. Like, what does that make you feel like you want to do? We'll try it a bunch of times, and then we'll pause, talk about it, try it a bunch of times, and then see what movement you're coming up with naturally,
Okay.
and then we'll keep those and stick them together.
And the trust I have for you is not existing.
Non-existent.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna do random stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what are you feeling?
The desire to always keep my eyes on you. Even then, it's like, once it's already established that I don't necessarily have a whole lot of trust for you, even when you are, because it starts when you're close to me, is where I'm like, something's a little off here. And because of that, I never actually disengage from you.
Oh, interesting. So what would it be like if the same thing, but instead of always being on the defensive, you also choose to be on the offensive? Let's try something like that. Let me just kind of do the same like walking around stuff.
Yeah. There's a little bit of defensive thing happening, and I don't know if this is just like a natural instinct of mine, but I'm not going to go onto the offensive unless I really feel like there's a reason to. So even though you're making me uncomfortable, I don't see that as much of a reason.
Interesting.
So it's like,
He said, ooh. Very good. That's what's interesting. It's like I'm trying to stay kid. I just realized I wasn't thinking about myself. I'm not actually trying to be threatening to you. I think I just like realized in the physicality of what I was doing that like there's a little bit of like, are you all right? Are you okay? Like
that's what that feels
you know what I mean?
like.
It's like, hey,
except
man.
for that one.
And then this one gets a little like, bruh, come on. Like I was like,
Yeah.
bruh, come on. It's like when someone's trying to help you and you like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Please, I will hurt you. But yeah, it's just like, I'm trying to help. Bruh, come on. I don't know if I just, and it's like, I'm really trying to help you. Could you do that one again? So we go, the walk around.
Yeah.
It gets like, all right, bro, this is getting weird.
I do not know who you are, by the way.
By the way, I don't know you. when you go, you do this thing the second time, and you do this thing, and then
Yeah. Da-na-na.
and then right there, can you like, when you go, you think you go this way? And then when it comes back around, can you do like that?
Just thinking about how quickly it goes from, it's just this one thing that bothers me, to like everything.
Everything so fast, yeah.
And there was just in that one improv, just feeling like there wasn't, logically, I think, wow, this one is really stressed out because it didn't take them too long for them to run all the way down that rabbit hole.
Interesting. Yeah. I love that, like, one of the things I know I want to get better at, but also one of the things I want to, like, not always do is, like, make the external be the reason that the audience realizes something, that it be like something inside the person is the reason we realize something. So this idea of like, this person is bothered, and that feeling bothered takes him all the way into this isolated place where now he resolves there, and now he's gonna start going through it, now that he's alone. You know what I mean? Yeah, because my head's pinging about like, because to some degree, like each one of these characters is basically dealing with grief on their own.
Right.
And everyone has a different way they do that.
Right.
You know, everyone has a different way they start that. And it could be interesting if this person starts it by like, I have this thing that's bothering me, and it just like quickly spirals into this like, I'm alone, and I have to be, because I don't trust anybody, because the world's against me, the world's after me, you know? And eventually somehow we get to, maybe the world isn't after me, maybe I just have to know who I can trust.
Right.
You know?
How do we make sure people are getting their fair share kind of deal? But in order to do that, then you talk policy, and that you have to get that on a local level first and find out who to trust on a local level before you can even take that to like state, nationwide and everything. But I found myself being in that place of like, but how do you know who would you even trust on a local level then? Like how do you find that person kind of deal?
What is the way that society would tell us we should be having this conversation? Like every time I tell something about this show or this project, there's an assumption that like the whole point is to talk about how racist the cops are.
Right.
And that's not at all what we're doing. We're actually like going past that surface level conversation to something really, really deep, really, really personal, that most people wouldn't want to talk about because it's really hard, right? It's like focusing on us as opposed to them, you know, which is the thing that we like to do. I had no idea that's what it was.
Wait. Say it again.
So grief is like, I'm going through shit by myself.
Right.
Isolation, bargaining, anger, It will come out at people, but you're really going through it by yourself. Mourning is the outward expression of grief.
Wow. Okay.
Like saying, I'm hurting, I'm scared, I'm angry, I'm this, I'm that, you know what I mean? And once you get to that part, the other side of that is acceptance and healing. But as long as you keep it bottled in, you can never get there. Most of us probably ain't gonna be alive by the time it gets better. So what do we do right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's so much like focus on the future of like, change is coming, blah, 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 all this stuff. And you know, one of the things Martin Luther King always used to say is like, the arc of justice is long. So most of us, like, I think about all the people on the Selma Bridge that died, they never got to see this. You know what I'm saying? So our job is to say, cool, somebody can handle that, but we're gonna talk about like, what do we do in the meantime?
Yeah.
And that's what this piece is about. Hey, Jose, you're muted.
That's an old man. How are you guys?
Pretty good.
Good. Did you style your hair first?
Well, I just took a shower before